I hit the wrong button. Hey, y'all, come on in. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and y'all come join me I'm going to make another patriotic shirt. Remember, I'm going to D.C., got my hair cut. I finally got my hair cut. I've been months wanting to get my hair cut. So anyway, come on in. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and I got a t-shirt from Michaels. Have not washed it, have not ironed it. All I did was put a sticky mat underneath the on the inside of the shirt to keep things kind of taut. And we are going to make this, okay? One nation under God, okay? And I think all I'm going to need are some red and some blue ink. I'm going to be working on ink. So let me show you. Let me get this out of the way just a minute. And I'm going to show you. I put this on here kind of crooked, but that's not what I'm concerned with. I just want to make sure that I get it from side to side. I've got a Chalk Couture sticky mat underneath here. And we're going to take some tape, and we are going to, let me get this, see if I can get this to roll. There we go. I'm going to get me some tape, and we're going to tape this down, and hopefully it's going to stay in place for me. Let's see here. I'm going to get some big tape, y'all. So come on in. Welcome to my page. If you are new to my page, then I would love for you to tell me where you're from, say hello. And all right, we're going to put this off to the side. I just keep that on the back of this stencil so that it does not. All right, let's see if this is going to fit. Oh, please fit. Please, please, please. All right, this is going to be right on the edge of that. So we're good. We're good. We're good. I'm going to just kind of try and get this. I need a little bit more space here. So let me back up. And I put a sticky mat in here in the, all right, so we're gonna put that there. I wanna make sure that it's level. And we're gonna just put this tape up on the shirt so that it stays in place. I'm just concerned with this one spot over here, but I think it's gonna be okay, y'all. All right, so I'm gonna be using red, candy apple red ink, and I'm going to be using the color Home in Chalk Couture's ink. All right, so let me lift this up. It looks like we got a couple of little pieces of fuzz here. All right, it's looking good, y'all. I'm kind of excited and nervous at the same time to see how this is going to turn out. All right, hang on. I got little pieces of fuzz here. All right, so if I bring this up here, all right, I gotta get some of this stuff, move some of this stuff out of the way. Happy July. Can y'all believe that we are already in July? How in the world has that happened? I don't even know. All right, so there we go. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm thinking I may start from the bottom. Oh, you know what? It's a good thing I looked at this because I've got this on backwards. Well, that would have not been good. All right, let me try it again. Let me turn this over. I turned it over for y'all. And now I've got to turn it back for me. Ha! That would have not been a good idea. Stencil the whole thing so that you can walk by in the mirror and it would be right. All right, let's try that again. Let's try it again. I want to make sure that I get this straight. And I'm looking at the shoulders because I put the sticky mat in here kind of crooked. All right, One Nation Under God. Do I want to bring it up just a smidgen maybe? Is this down here at the bottom? Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, come on. Let's see. I want to make sure this is centered. You know, it's kind of funny how, have you ever noticed how, watched yourself level something, we turn our heads back and forth and all around, and it's kind of funny how your equilibrium will allow you to do. Okay, that is off the, I'm gonna have to bring this over. Oh, I don't want to have to take this out and redo it because it took me a while to get it there. All right, I'm gonna bring this up just a smidgen. All right, I got an idea. I'll tell you what I'm going to do here in just a minute. I am going to grab, I have more than one sticky mat. And rather than take that out and redo it, I'm going to take one of these, the small one that I have cut. And I am going to put it, I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this underneath here. There we go. And then that's going to buffer that, so that's going to work. Okay, ingenuity, right? All right, let me check and make sure that this looks level at the bottom of the shirt, and it does. Maybe a little bit off. So the heart, you know, I've done like a lot of machine embroidery, and a lot of times okay, I think that'll work. What takes the longest is the setup. So come on in. Hey, Berta, how are you? I'm going to do a One Nation Under God t-shirt. I got the stencil from the Stencil Smith. All right, hang on. Let me see if this is straight. Is that going to work? I think that's going to work. Does it look straight? I think it does. Okay, let me get that tape down. All right, so I am going to be working with Chalk Couture's. Oh, where did my stars go? Oh, there they are. Okay. All right, let me pull this up again so it doesn't cover. This is a big stencil. It's going to cover my whole front. And I'm going to be working with, I need a bigger brush. I'm going to be working with Essential Stencils brushes. All right, please be straight. It looks straight. All right, I'm going to do this. I've already got the white, so I'm going to do the stripes that are in white are going to just be the shirt, and then I'm going to do red stripes. Then I'm going to do the top up here. Oh, I am going to need white because I need to do the stars. So I'm going to do the blue up here, and then I'm going to come back, and I think I want to do the stars in gold, y'all. I think that's what I want to do. All right, so let me get my gold out, and let me get my white out, because I'm going to need that for the stars. So I'm kind of, gosh, that is like, making sure I'm online. It's recalculating for me. All right, let me get this open. I'll do some gold stars. Let me show you. Did you see the shirt that I did the other day, Berta? Oh, come on. There we go. Whew. Let me open this. Okay, that looks good. So when we get to our stars, we'll be good. All right, so let me tell you what I learned. I learned a couple of things. Let me get my stars. They fell on the ground. Come on. Berta, did you get a letter in the mail from me by any chance? Let me show you the shirt I did Monday. I'm gonna wear this. I'm going to DC for the Freedom 250, and it's got America the Beautiful song on it, and You can see, I love how this turned out. I got this shirt from Michaels, and it is a Bella canvas, B-E-L-L-A canvas, and it's a really, really soft cotton. Not the, you know, some of the shirts that Michaels has are kind of a stiff cotton. This is a really, really, you didn't get a letter in the mail from me by any, gosh, I mailed it like a couple of weeks ago. Huh. All right, let me see. That just looks crooked to me, but it's straight with the seam. All right, here we go. We're going to give it our best shot. I think I'm going to start with the blue. I'm going to go with the blue first. And I may end up having to add a little bit of water to this. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, so we're going to see. All right, this is Chalk Couture's ink. And so I'm going to offload this. Let me get another paper towel so that it doesn't go through here. I got a lot going through my mind today. I got to pack. We're going to leave here. No is for the shirt you... Oh, okay. Gotcha. Did you get a letter from me? A card, yes. Yeah. Okay, good. I was hoping that that it showed up. I appreciate you so much and love you, Berta. I tell you what, you have been such a blessing to me. All right, let's move that out of the way. All right, here we go. Let me point myself down so that y'all can see what I'm doing. I got to pull this up because I'm not going to be able to adjust much once I get started here. All right, let's see here. Let me back this up just a little bit. All right, so here I am right here. All right, here we go. We're going in with the blue. I don't think this is going to take very long. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go off the edge into the center of this because I don't want to take any chances of getting any bleeding under it. So I'm going to just kind of, let me turn this over this way. Kind of crooked. So I'm going to go on the stencil onto the shirt. And I'm going to need some tape so that I don't go into the next section. So let me get a small piece of tape. I'm going to just cover that up right there so that I don't go into that color, because those are going to be where our stripes are going to be. All right, I feel like I don't have any cardboard cut. Let's see what I got here. I really need a piece of cardboard. All right, let me move this out of the way. I think as long as I have plenty of paper towels back here. I should have just waited and come on at 3. I was trying to get on here sooner so that I could catch some of y'all, but it looks like I would have been better to wait till 3. All right, this is looking good. And then I'm going to do this section here. This is going to be where our stars are going to be. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to just use that what's there on the towel rather than keep going back in there. I'm going to come back and we're going to put some white stars over this. So this is going to be like a great big circle. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Come on in. I'm making a One Nation Under God t-shirt. And I got the t-shirt from Michaels. I have not done anything to prep the shirt. I got enough ink on this where I'm offloading that I'm just taking it off of here rather than keep using the ink, y'all. All right. I'm just going to keep keep going. I'm going to go from the edge to the outs to the center. And I'm kind of excited to see how this is gonna look. My husband, my younger son, and I are going to Washington, D.C. for the Freedom. I know, I love this blue too. It was a color of the month a couple months ago. I guess it's July. There's a new color of the month that's out. I think it's like a gold color. Almost like it looks like it'll be a good color for sunflowers. But anyway, Chalk Couture has a color of the month, but I'm telling y'all, if you're going to buy any Chalk Couture, become a Perks member. You're going to get 30% off of all retail prices, and then you also have special deals that Chalk Couture has just for Perks members and club members. So you want to do that, but the reason why I say become a Perks member is because you're going to pay $20 for the subscription. Then what happens is Chalk Couture gives you back that $20, but it's in product credit. So you can only spend it at Chalk Couture. And anyway, yeah, but you get 30% off. And the good news about it is that you don't have to like subscribe for a certain amount of time. You can find what you want, buy it, and then cancel the next month. And then when you see something else that you like, you can just join again. So I'm a numbers person. I always look at the best way to, get the best deal for your money. And so I tell everybody who wants to become a Perks program, start, buy something, cancel. When you want to buy something else, you can join back up again. And then that way you're not endlessly going on and on. Your money's not always all tied up. All right, so here we go. We're going in the center. Now, this is going to be a little bit thick in here, and there's a lot of ink here, but the good news is that when I dry this and after I heat set this, it will become soft. It won't be like vinyl. You know, vinyl has that stiff look to it. This won't do that. All right, here we go. This is kind of non-eventful because you're just kind of swirling and swirling and swirling. And let me check this and make sure it's not going through. But I like the ink on the shirts because the Chalk Couture ink is like, it goes into the fabric and it's really soft. So it will give with, when you bend and stuff like that. And I haven't decided, I keep wanting to figure out, like with the One Nation Under God shirt that I did. No, I mean the America the Beautiful shirt that I did. I was trying to figure out a way to get some bling on that. And I haven't really sat down to do anything with it yet. So we'll see where we go with it. All right, we're getting there. There was an artist at, so we went, my husband, my son, and I, Adam, my son Adam, I have two sons, anyway, we went last Thursday to Washington, D.C. and saw some of the Freedom 250. And there was an artist there named Scott Labedo, I think is his last name. Oh my gosh, y'all. I'll have to put a link in the in this live down in the comments. You should see these American flags that he painted. Oh my word, they were absolutely stunning. I think they're probably some of the prettiest paintings of the American flag that I've ever seen. Some of them were really like impressionistic and, you know, just all kinds of different styles. But you just got to look at his work. It was absolutely stunning. And he was actually there painting. So I was able to talk to him, and you know, it's kind of funny because he told me the same thing that I tell y'all, that the only way you're going to learn how to paint is to put a paintbrush in your hand. And you know, and the stencils, like these stencils here, these are really good because you don't necessarily have to stencil them. What you can do is you can use them for like a pattern and trace the pattern onto whatever surface you're doing, and then you can paint afterwards. So lots of things that you can do with these stencils. This particular stencil is from okay, I think I've got all of that. I don't think I want it any thicker than that. So now I'm going to go in with some red, and we're going to do, I haven't decided, so what do y'all think? Should I do the One Nation Under God? Because I'm going to have the blue star, the blue section with the white stars. We're going to do the red here. Should we do One Nation Under God in, all right, I'm going to put this in my water. Should we do One Nation Under God in blue, red, gold? Blue, red, gold, or black? What do you think? What should we do? All right, I'm going to just move this up a little bit. Let me get my hands clean because I don't want to get any ink on in places where I don't want it. So where do y'all think we should put, what should we do with the One Nation Under God? Should we do it in black to add another color to this? What did the gold look like? Let me see what the gold looked like on this shirt here. Make sure my hand, oh, see, there we go. I got ink all underneath my fingernails. Hold on, I'm going to pull up that other shirt that I did on Monday. Get all of this off of me. You got to really check your hands when you're doing this. All right, so let's see how well. I don't know if that'll be, okay, it'll be kind of neat. I don't know if the gold will be prominent enough. Can y'all see the gold from there? I don't think the gold would be sharp. The red would be pretty. Either the blue would be pretty too. We could do the stripes in red, and what do you think? Black so I can stand out? Okay. That was my first hunch. Bertie, you and I think a lot alike when it comes to colors. All right, let me open this over. All right, that's going to be good. All right, so I'll come back and do that. And then I'll put some, maybe instead of putting, should I do gold stars or should, I know, I like that shirt too. I can't wait to wear it. I'm having a hard time not coming online with it because I want to show it to all of y'all. All right, so should I, all right, One Nation Under God. Should we do the stars in some red, some blue, or should we do the stars in gold? What do you think? All right, let me, while we're thinking, I'm going to go ahead and grab another brush, and we're going to go in with the red, and we're going to do our red stripes next. And then I'm glad I did the blue first because that can be drying. All right, let me see here. Make sure I don't put this over here so that I don't get any paint on it. Put that up there. All right, so we're gonna grab a couple more paper towels. Red and blue stars. Okay, I kind of thought that too. So we're gonna do the red stripes. I'm really excited of going back to DC, y'all. We had so much fun. It was just, they've got a booth for all 50 states in the United States and then some of the territories. And all right, here we go. We're gonna load and offload. Same drill, different color. And South Carolina had rocking chairs, and it was like they were sitting on a front porch, you know, just so Southern Southern like, and I told the lady who was working that booth, I said, you know, this is probably one of my favorite booths that we had been to. We hadn't been to very many, but the thing about it was it just felt like home when you walked in. It was really nice and bright and colorful, and all right, I got to take this off of here. Whoops. All right, so now, let's see if that, I need to put this tape on the other side. But anyway, I told her that, you know, that I really liked the atmosphere that was there. And she said that what they were trying to portray was the hospitality of South Carolina. I said, well, y'all knocked it out of the park, because that's exactly what I felt. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go in here with the stripes. Let me get this out of the way so I don't stick my shirt in it. I am so bad about that. All right, we're going to put this in the trash so that I don't put my hand in that. All right, here we're going in with the stripes. I'm going to do, this one is a little sketchy over here, so I'm going to need to hold this down. And this particular stencil will fit on like a 16-inch round. This is the Stencil Smith. I'm kind of mixing 3 different companies. I've got Essential Stencils stencil brushes. I've got the Stencil Smith stencil. And then I'm using Chalkatours ink. I love the ink. I love working with their ink. All right, we're going to get this nice and covered. And then, I don't know, do y'all remember that bag, the canvas bag that I made, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago? I'm going to bring that with me. I'll show it to you. Remind me that I'm going to show it to y'all. It's right behind me. I don't know if you can see it back behind me this way. It has all the states of the United States stenciled in the flag. That was pretty cool. That's the Stencil Smith also. Okay, that one looks good. I'm going to come in here, grab a little bit more ink, wipe my fingers off. Yeah, I think the black will look good on that. Oops, make sure that that's not going through. All right, here we go, y'all. Okay, I'm going to hold this down so that it doesn't bleed underneath here. Now, when you're working with the fabric, you don't have, it's not as likely for it to bleed because the fabric drinks up some of the wetness in the paint, and in this case, in the ink. So it kind of drinks right up into the shirt, whatever fabric you're using. So it's a little bit more forgiving. All right, I'm gonna come back here to get some of that paint off of there, or ink. Oh, I'm really excited to see how this is gonna turn out. I gotta remember to put the stars on though. I want to make sure that that's dry before I start adding the stars. So I'll have to maybe put a hairdryer on it or something. So when I bought the Stencil Smith had a lot of really nice, let's see, Tammy, doing the words in black and then moving the stencil a little. Oh, and shadowing it. Ooh, God in gold. Ooh, I like that idea. Okay, I like that idea. I do. I don't understand why it's a Christian company and they did not capitalize God. I don't understand that. That's the only thing I don't like about this stencil is they didn't give the G a capital letter. And that doesn't make any sense because they're believers. It's a great company. to work with. I am an affiliate with the Stencilsmith, and if any of y'all want to use my affiliate link, it's nothing is wasted, first 3 words in my business name with no spaces. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can line that up, because I like that idea. All right, let's see what we got. Ooh, 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 it's gonna be good, y'all. It's gonna be good. All right, coming in here with this last stripe. And then we'll do, it almost took me as long to, what's the word I want to use? Line up the sticky mat as it is to stencil it. I've had to rearrange, because this is a big stencil, y'all. This is like 18 by 18 inches. All right, hold on. Let me get a piece of tape. Tape is your friend. I'm going to put it over that letter there. And that letter there, so that I don't go into where I'm going to do the black. Okay. Moving this up just a smidgen. Now, with these Mylar, I think it's Mylar, they're made out of Mylar, the stencils are. What I do when I'm cleaning them, I don't know if you're supposed to do this or not, so I'm just telling you what I do. You may want to research it to make sure. I haven't had any trouble with it. I just clean with rubbing alcohol, because sometimes the paint sticks on these stencils, and it's a little bit harder to get off with just water. So one time I had left a stencil overnight, and I thought, how am I going to get this off of here? And I just used rubbing alcohol, and it came right off. So that's my story. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. And I've been using rubbing alcohol ever since that for this particular stencil. Oh, and then I found out something else too. One of the gals on Essential Stencil, she said that she bent one of her stencils and it ruined. And I thought, I think you could put a hairdryer on that and fix it. Well, I ended up with this particular stencil had a bend in it, and I took my my heat tool and it came right out. So if you do bend one of these stencils, all is not lost. You can just don't get the heat too hot near it that it melts it. But you can actually, win back your stencil if you get a bend in it. All right, y'all, this is going to be good. All right, it's going to be good. All right, so now I'm going to need a smaller brush for these stars. Let's see how many stars we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I think I want to do blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue, blue. Do we want more blue or do we want more red? I'm thinking maybe we'll do a blue one here since it's next to the, all right, I'm going to just do this one at a time. I'm going to need a smaller brush. Where'd my blue go? All right, I'm going to put this blue and then I'll put a red one up there. I'm going to do it according to color as opposed to anything else. All right, going in here. I may need even a smaller brush than this. Yeah, I think I am. Let me get this brush here. Let's see if that's, that one's, make sure it's soft. That'll work. All right, let's do that. I'm gonna go in there. These are like the dome brushes. I like both of the brushes from Essential Stencil. All right, here we go, y'all. We're going in here with blue on this one. I'm gonna make sure I don't go over the letters. Of course, that's gonna be black, so it won't be that much of a issue. So yeah, so we're all pretty excited about going back. Oops, that was kind of, I didn't offload very much. I hope I'm not going to regret that. All right, so I'm going to put a blue one over here. Now, actually, I'm going to put a blue one up here. And then I'll do, I want to put one gold one here, by God. I want to put one gold one. All right, so that's blue, that one's good, this one's good. All right, so I don't need any more blue for the stars, but I am going to need white, but I don't want to mix those colors. All right, then red, I'm done with the red. I'm done with this blue, just trying to get some of this stuff off my desk. And I'm going to do one star in gold. This one right here, by God. Boy, that is wet. I don't know why that is so wet. All right, I need this for red. All right, so we're going to come in here with the gold. It's really wet. Now, all right, here we go. We're going to come in here with this gold star here. So Scott, I think it's L-O capital B-A-I-D-O. Y'all look him up. Oh my gosh. I think he's either from New Jersey or New York or one of those New England states up there. All right, that one, I like that. Then we're going to do a red and a red over here. I'm going to hang on to this gold just in case I use it again for the God. All right, let me put this away. Oh, I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. All right, now we need the lid for the, I'm not, because I'm going to do the red stars. All right, here we go. Coming in here with the red. All right, here we go. My phone just reconnected or something. I'm not quite sure what happened. All right, there's a red star there. And then we're going to do one down here. Make sure my hands don't got red on me, so I got to be careful. Y'all, this is going to be so awesome when it's done. All right, so now we're going to go in with the, all right, I don't need any more reds, so I'm going to put this in my water. Put my lid on my red. I'm glad I did the, that's almost dry, y'all. I'm glad I did the blue first because I gave it plenty of time to dry. All right, now we're going to go in with the black. And I'm going to put that up there so it doesn't get in the way. You stir this and see. All right, this looks good. I might need just a smidgen of water in here, just to make it a little thinner. You don't want it too thin or it'll run, but okay, this is good. All right, let me get my hands clean. I don't know if I can say it enough times, but the biggest thing that you want to do when you're working with the, yours keeps acting up too. I don't think our internet strength is the same as it used to be. We had a development move in behind us. We used to have just woods behind us when we first moved here. It was so cool because I'd been thinking, you know, it'd be so nice to have a house in the city, in the country, in the middle of the city, and that's kind of what God gave us when we moved here. And but then a development 25 years later. So we've been here 25 years, so it's not like God didn't still bless us. I almost feel like I may come back and do maybe another gold star somewhere up over top or something. Oh, I'm excited, y'all. This is looking good. All right, so let me take this out of here and put it in my water. See how it doesn't take much for me to get paint on me. All right, let me do that again. Get my hands clean. I was telling, I think it was Sherry Givens, she is the founder of Grace Creations, and she's talking about how she always gets paint on her. I said, I can walk by a paint can that's closed and get paint on me. My husband could dive into a paint can and not a drop would stay on him, but it does on me. So, all right, so now I'm going to come in here, and I think the way I want to do this is I'm going to cover up the stars. All right, let's take this off of here because we need to get to this. And I'm going to put this over here on this side so that we don't go into the red. And cover up these stars. I'm telling you, y'all, paint is, I mean, this tape is your friend. It's just painter's tape. But it, you know, because sometimes I'll get going and I'll forget and it'll be like, oh, I went into that. I have good intentions, but then forget. All right, so we're going to tape that star up. And then we're going to come over here. Let me get a couple more pieces of tape. And one over this. All right, and now we're going to go in with the black. I'm kind of nervous about doing the shadow part, so we'll see how it works. We'll see how it does. All right, so now I need a brush for the black. Now, the reason why I ended up doing the stars, because I'm going to go over with a bigger brush. Not a big brush, but one of the bigger ones. And, all right, so we're going to take this off of here. Throw this away. Trying to minimize any accidents. And I'm going to come back over this. Oh! You know what? I was thinking I could maybe foil the gold on top of that. I won't be able to do it because I have to wait overnight for it to dry. But I might, instead of doing the ink, I might do some gold foil on that. That would be pretty too. Thinking. My friend keeps acting up since yesterday. Oh, my internet. I thought it said my friend. I'm like, your friend? All right, here we go, y'all. All right, let me put this up here. See, there you go. I just picked that up and I got ink on me. All right, we're going to put this over here. I got to get my stars down here. I got to remember to do my stars. We'll do those after we do this. All right, here we go. Going in with the black. I like adding the, you know, another element, another color. I think that always makes a difference. You know, even if people don't think so, I mean, I think there's just something about that third color. I mean, even though I put a little bit of gold in here, there's something about that third color. The background doesn't really count. All right, so I'm gonna hold this down because I want to get nice, crisp, sharp letters on here. And my husband's gonna come home tonight. He's back and forth between his mom's and here. She is in an assisted living house and facility, and so he is so good to her. She's 95, and it just got to the point where he couldn't take care of her anymore. There's a lot of lifting involved, and he's just not strong enough for it. But he goes to see her every day that he can, almost every day. He's finally for the longest time, he was living in you know, the house he grew up in for full time, and then he would go to see his mom every day, and once things, you know, it's an hour and a half drive to work when he does that. So I mean, it's really quite a sacrifice. Anyway, so now he's halfway between home and, you know, his mom's home. And so he still sees her, like, he'll stay here a couple of nights, Saturday and Monday, and then he'll go back home to his mom's house. And, all right, it's looking good, y'all. Stay there. I don't know how he does it, but he did that when I was pregnant with Adam. I went into preterm labor at 9 weeks before he was born, and the doctor told me I could get up to eat and I could get up to go to the bathroom, but I was bedridden for 9 weeks. And anyway, we had a condo that we were trying to get on the market. Our next door neighbor sold it to us at a really, really good price, and that was what made it so that we could get into the house that we're living in now. But he would go to work, then he would go home, work on the condo because it had a lot of stuff that needed to be done to it. And, you know, in several nights a week, he would come out to my mom and dad's house because I was staying with my mom and dad, and come and see our older son. And I don't know if I told y'all this story or not, but I had been praying. I used to smoke really heavily, smoke cigarettes, like 2 and 3 packs a day. I'm a go big or go home kind of gal. And I mean, I was smoking and it was like I couldn't even hardly breathe. I started smoking as a teenager, and I quit when I was pregnant with Adam. I quit smoking for about 8 days, and I was just bouncing off the walls. And I started back smoking, and I was outside talking to God, and I was like, God, I know you're disappointed in me. I'm disappointed in myself. I really want to, you know, get rid of this habit. I said, I feel like the only way I'm going to be able to stop smoking is to go to bed and sleep it off. And I can still see it. I was outside looking up at the stars in the sky, talking to God, you know, like he's up there. He was right there with me. But anyway, bam. Shortly after that, I went into preterm labor with Adam and was in bed for 9 weeks. So he gave me what it took to quit smoking, and that's how I quit smoking. I was in preterm labor and couldn't get up to smoke. So my mom was so funny. I'd ask her to cook stuff for me. And she's like, are you hungry again? I said, well, really, I want a cigarette. But she said, I'll fix you whatever you want. And she was so good. I had such an awesome mom. I miss her. You know, I think we all miss, those of us that have lost our moms, you know, we miss them, don't we? And she was a very wise woman. She loved God. She did prison ministry. And she liked, the tougher they were, the more she loved them. She wanted to go in maximum security and talk to the, you know, the hardcore, what are they called? Offenders. And she had a stroke while she was doing prison ministry. And oh, y'all, this is really on. See how it's all over my hands? All right, let me move this up. Hold on. Let me get another. They called her Sister Betty. And anyway, she had to walk the boulevard to get to the maximum security. And the guys, the men there, they loved her. They loved my mom. She's a little thing. And nobody could mess with Sister Betty because they all took care of her and made sure that nobody messed with her. So she could pretty much, I mean, she wasn't afraid either. She was like, I got God. God's here with me, and I know where I'm going if something happens. She said, I'm not worried about it. And, but, you know, all the men there, they're like, you didn't talk bad about Sister Betty. You didn't even try to attempt to harm Sister Betty. She was something else. And, anyway, when she had a stroke, all the men were praying for her. Oh my gosh, it was so awesome. You know, how they just showed their love for her, to her. All right, y'all, we're getting close. Look at this. Oh, golly. I don't even know why I try to keep my hands clean. You know, because I got to get right in here and hold this stencil down so that it doesn't, the ink doesn't bleed underneath here. And this is a really, really soft brush too. So it gets in the crevices and everything. All right, got this over here. I'm glad I put the tape on the stars, y'all. I think I would have had black shadowing or black highlights over it had I not done that. Okay, just swirling to the left, and then I'm swirling to the right. Isn't there a song about something doing something to the left and to the right? I'm not really good with music. It's so funny because I homeschooled both of our boys, and I'm terrible at movies, and I'm terrible at music. I'm a numbers person. And anyway, got one son that went into the film industry, and one son, I mean, we didn't even have a TV in the den, y'all. So it's not like our older son, you know, saw lots of movies, and he was real oh, I got some right there. Darn. All right, I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to wait. And, all right, let me get my hands clean. I'm hoping. Well, one thing we don't want to do is when you get paint somewhere where you don't want it, you don't want to mess with it until it's dry. I may be able to go over that with the red again, but we will see. We will see. We will see. All right, let me get some of this off my fingers. See, I got to working and I wasn't paying attention. That's okay. It'll be all right. All right, let me see. Where is... Make sure we got that. All right, here we go. Coming in here. There's just no way for me to do this without getting it on my hands. The thing is that this is such a big stencil and I have such a small space to craft in that it's wanting to lift up because I don't have a mat that's big enough for everything to lay flat at the same time. So I'm having to come in here and just actually literally hold this down so there's no bleeding underneath it. All right, here we go. Almost done. And then we got to do the stars. We got to remember the stars. They'll go last. And then while we're doing the stars, this can dry. I think I need to leave this down when I do the stars. I haven't used this before, this stencil. So I'm not totally sure how it's going to all shake out, but I think I have to leave this stencil down, put that stencil on top, and then we'll do the stars over that. How are we doing on time? Oh, it's been about an hour, so I think I'm doing pretty good for all of this as far as time is concerned. I'm not in an event today. I'm on my own time, so I don't have to nobody's following me, which means that I can take as much time as I want. I love doing the events, but the only, thing is that I don't time my projects out exactly to an hour. Because, when I'm in an event, I have to use up that whole hour. And then I have to be off exactly at the hour so that the next person can, come behind me. All right, let me just peek and see what we got. Oh my gosh, y'all are gonna love this. Okay. All right, but I don't want to lift it up yet because I want to make sure everything stays intact for the stars. All right, so I'm gonna get this black paint ink off of my hands. I do not need this anymore. Oh my gosh, y'all. This is absolutely gorgeous. I may take, I haven't decided. I may take, all right, I'm gonna put this in the water. I may come over these stars and add a little bit of gold on top of them. Especially the blue, because it's kind of blending in with the black, because they're both, it's kind of a dark navy. So I may come over that blue, what is that, with a little bit of gold to highlight it. Matter of fact, I think I am definitely going to do that. So let me do that. All right, the black, y'all, this black looks awesome on here. We are almost there, almost there. And see, and I didn't even do anything and I got it on me. All right. All right, let me do the blue stars. All right, I'm gonna throw this away. I mean the white stars. Let's see, that feels dry. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna come in here with the stars. I gotta figure out how this works. Y'all, my hair feels so much better since I got it cut. I'm gonna put that down. I'm not quite sure. Oh, I gotta lift this up. Hold on. I gotta get this out of the way. Yeah, I got a little bit of kind of wondering if I can kind of scratch this off of here. I think I might be able to, y'all. Will you look at that? Thank you, Lord. Because I haven't heat set it, it's just on that top layer, and I'm actually able to scratch off, and then I'll come back over that with some more red. Thank you, Lord. All right. And I got a little piece. No, that's good. All right, so we got that. All right, now I got to figure this out. I'm going to put this on here. I almost feel like I want to do a little bit more blue on there. All right, let me see. Is there something to line this up with? Get my hair off of it. All right, this is the right side. How do I know it's the right side? 2 reasons. It has a sticker on the top, and it also has a number in the top left corner, and if you've got it backwards, that number's backwards. All right, here we go. How are we gonna line this up? Let's see how this does. They don't give you instructions, but you can figure it out. All right, so I think that looks good. So let me get a piece of tape. And then after I do the white stars, I'm going to come back over this section that I scratched that off. All right, let's see here. I think that looks good. I wonder if it needs to come down a little bit. That to be level. I think I like it right there. All right, so we're going to go in with the white. Where's my white? Here's my white. Over top of the blue. I may have to do 2 coats on this. We'll see. The Chalk Couture ink is pretty thick, so we may get away with 1 coat, but we'll see. I'm going to put another thing of tape on here so that it doesn't go anywhere. Okay. All right, here we go. And I'm going to use another one of these bigger brushes. And I'm going to come in here with my paper towel. And I'm going to push that paint or that ink up into the bristles. All right, here we go, y'all. All I can think about is those flags that Scott Lebedo painted at Freedom 250. Gosh, he is so talented. Makes me want to just kind of get some scrap paper and try some stuff. All right, this is good. We're going to go over each one of these and then we'll come back and give it a second coat. Just swirling to the left and then swirling to the right, and you get all those little nooks and crannies that way. Sometimes if you only go one direction, you miss certain corners and stuff like that. So it's really good to go both ways. So after I do the stars, and I want to go back over those some of the blue stars. I think I want to just kind of lightly go over some of these stars with some gold. And all right, I want that to dry. And then I want to go over this has got to dry too. Otherwise, I'm just gonna smear it together. Hey, Mary, how are you? All right, this is the second coat on here. I almost feel like I want to add some gold on these too. We'll see. I need to dry this. Because what happens is if you don't dry it, you're just kind of moving the paint around. All right, let's see what we got here. Let me put a little bit of heat on this. Not too close to the stencil. I'm making a t-shirt. I'm going to wear it when I go to Washington, D.C. this weekend. It says, "One Nation Under God." All right, let's see what we got. Now, this will be tacky until I actually heat set it. As soon as I heat set it, it'll be nice and smooth. It'll go right into that fabric. Y'all, I'm excited about this. All right, I think, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, let me just do a hinge on this. Look, y'all. Oh my gosh, is that not gorgeous? All right, we're gonna lift this up. Gonna get that out of the way. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. And there's a little bit of the blue coming through, but that's okay because that gives it a little bit of dimension. I almost feel like I would want to go back over the stars, but I really, you know, technically you can go back and you know, put the stencil back down again, but to me it's never the same. It's never the same. All right, so we've got that. We've got this. I need to go back over the red, white. I don't need any white, so I'm going to put that in my water. I'm going to spray my hands again, and I'm going to go over this section with the red, where I got some black paint, and I'm going to use one of these little brushes here and put some tape over this so that I don't go into, it's reconnecting again. I'm not sure if it's on my end or the platform's end. All right, here we go. I'm going to put this away. Grab another paper towel. I need to cut up some cardboard with my little zip snip. All right, here we go. I'm going to offload. Oh, y'all can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to offload. Come in here. There's a little bit of a black spot there still, but I don't think it's going to be noticeable. It is what it is. All right, I'm going to go over this a little bit more. You know me, I like my bright, sharp contrast. If I can get through this project without making a major mistake, it'll be a miracle. I think everything I do has got flaws in it. Perfectly imperfect, right? All right, this is looking good. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Oh my gosh. Oh, I shouldn't have gone over it the second time. All right, so I'm done with this. Now I need a brush to get some gold just on the edges of those blue stars so that they don't look black. Just a little something to separate them. All right, here we go. I'm going to come in here with this. Don't put your paint over your project, or open it or close it, or any of those things. All right, here we go. Here's my paper towel, and I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to come in here and offload. And I'm going to take and just do just a smidgen of gold around the edges of this blue star. See if you can tell. Well, you can't really tell. And this blue star. Just a little bit. Maybe I'll go all the way just a little bit over it. Okay. I think we've got it, y'all. All right, so now... all right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do the shadowing right. Well, I have to because I've got to take the, all right, hold on. Let me think about this a minute because I need this to be dry. So hold the presses. Let me, oh my gosh, y'all. This is so pretty. You know what? I'm going to take my chances, and I'm going to lift this up. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. I think I'm going to skip the shadowing just because I don't want to mess it up. And it looks like perfect. All right, let me show y'all what I have here. All right, we're going to turn my heat press on. I chickened out is what it boiled down to. All right, here we go. Let me turn it around and show you what we got. Y'all, look at that. I know it's backwards, but look at that. Oh my goodness, I love this. I love this, I love this, I love this. All right, so let me go ahead, check my hands. I'm gonna pull this sticky mat out. When I went over a second time, I got some of the red underneath that stencil, so I should have left it alone. That's okay. Right, here we go. This thing is stuck for sure. Tell you what, if this wasn't a large, it will be by the time I stretch this. All right, almost there, y'all. This is a big stencil. All right, hang on. It's a relatively new sticky mat too, so it's really sticking. I don't want this to fold over on itself is what I'm trying to keep it from doing. Fortunately, it's not super wet. All right, let's see if I can get this to come out here. Here we go. Oh my goodness, y'all, will you look at that? Wow, I love this. I wanted it big. I wanted One Nation Under God to be big so that everybody sees it. That is the nation we live under. Oh my gosh, y'all. This is gorgeous. Wow, 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 wow. All right, let me heat press it, and then I'll feel more comfortable with it. So hang on just a minute. I gotta get my heat mat, my wool mat. Oh my goodness, y'all, I cannot love this anymore. Oh golly, I am so glad I did this. Have you ever just loved a project? Wow, wow, wow. I know. Oh my goodness. I can't, now I think I don't know which shirt. Which shirt should I wear for, I think I should wear this for 4th of July. We're going to be there the 3rd, the 4th, and coming home on the 5th. So I think I will, all right, hold on. I got an itty bitty space here. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my goodness. I can't tell you. I got this one part over here, but this is what everybody's going to be looking at, so I'm not worried about it. Like I said, perfectly imperfect, right? All right, here we go. 30 seconds on 305 degrees for each section, because I'm going to have to do this in about 4 sections. And I did not wash this shirt. I did not iron this shirt. I did nothing to it. It came straight out from Michaels. Oh, thanks for the heart, y'all. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to figure out a way to take a picture, get my husband or something to take a picture of me in it when, all right. So I'm going to do each section for 30 seconds. Then I'm going to take and turn the shirt inside out, and I'll do the back side each section for 30 seconds. Oh, y'all, I feel like I have mastered working with the Chalk Couture ink, the Essential Stencil brushes, and the Essential Stencil stencils, and also the, what do you call it, the Stencil Smith stencils. I feel like I have finally mastered working on fabric. You have to make sure that you get enough of the ink. I love the ink. The ink, I think the ink makes all the difference in the world. The Chalk Couture ink. You have, and then that way, because see, I like bright, sharp, crisp lines. I know a lot of people don't, but I just do, you know? And so, all right, let me move this over. Oh my gosh, y'all. And see, it's like tacky. It's tacky on this side, but it's smooth on this side after you heat set it. I don't know what the process, what happens when you do that, but I just know that it becomes, it's like you can't even hardly feel it there. And I could probably go over this one more time. But I just, oh my gosh, y'all, this is gorgeous. I want people to say, where'd you get your shirt? And I'm going to go, I made it. Oh, wow. That is so beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I get so excited. I get so excited, y'all. It was so fun. This is such a big stencil. It's like, how am I going to store this thing? Because it's like 18 by 18 inches. And, oh yeah. I mean, because it's like, it's not tacky at all over here on this side. Oh my goodness. And this is a nice soft, oops, let me get this out of the way. A nice soft t-shirt too. Thanks, Mary. Y'all, thanks. Oh my gosh, I love this, I love this, I love this. I cannot love this more. Oops, hold on, let's get this up here. I was kind of concerned that it was not going to fit on the t-shirt because it's such a big stencil. I thought, I think I can get it on here. And sure enough, man, it just barely fits. I think that in hindsight, putting the navy next to the black, probably not a real good idea. So the stars, I could probably do like a small sticky mat and do something different with this blue star, or I may just leave it alone so that I don't mess it up. Oh my gosh, y'all. Black was the right call. Y'all helped me with the right call on that for sure. Wow, 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 wow. Let's see how this feels. This one almost feels like it could use one more pass on it because it was pretty thick there. Then we'll turn this inside out. See how this is. And we'll do the back side of this. And then when I turn it inside out, I put the parchment paper over where the ink is. I don't put it on where the iron is. I put it where the ink is. I could do both, but wow, 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 wow. I love this. Did I say I love this? I love this, y'all. Oh my goodness. Let me show you one more time before I turn it inside out. Look at that. So, and this is going to come down because this is a crew neck, so this will come down, and this is exactly what I wanted, was right, you know, the one nation under God. That's what I wanted to proclaim more than anything else, is that I wanted to give Jesus some, what do you call it, advertisement? Not that he needs it, but oh my gosh, y'all. Oh, all right. So I've still got one more. I've got 2 more shirts to do. So I'm either gonna. I'm going to definitely, when I'm finished with this, I will end the live, and then I may come back tonight and do another one, because we're leaving tomorrow, y'all. Not tomorrow. We're leaving Friday. I got to pack tomorrow. So I got to have all my stuff done. So I may end up doing another shirt, maybe around 7 o'clock or something tonight. And, all right, here we go. We're going to hit the back side of this, each section. If I had a bigger heat press, I could do it all in one, but I usually buy the biggest of everything, and I intentionally bought a medium-size Cricut heat press because I just don't have enough space for a really big one, and I didn't know if I'd be able to lift the really big one. Make sure I've got that parchment paper there. All right, we'll do one more section. And then I'm going to move the parchment paper over. So this is the Stencil Smith stencil. And if any of y'all are interested in, they sell them in several different sizes. I think I got the smaller size, or maybe it's only one size. I don't remember. This is a large, I think. And you can use my code, Nothing Is Wasted, to get 15% off. And they have, every so often, the Stencil Smith will have a sale. And like I got this one at 20% off. So if you have a chance, you know, a choice between the 20% or using my code, get the 20% off. Save you money. They, because I think they only let you use one code. All right, we're going to do the top of this, and then it's going to be done, y'all. Wow, wow, wow. I am so happy with how this came out. Wow, wow, wow. All right, we got 8 seconds, and then we're going to move this. Yeah, I think I'm going to wear this for a 4th of July, because we're going to go up Friday. We're going to leave here about 12 o'clock. That'll get us to probably the hotel about 3:30 or 4. And then after we get out of the hotel, it'll probably be another hour. So probably 5 o'clock before we get to the Freedom 250. I'm so excited about going back, y'all. It's like a history lesson about all the states in the United States. which is really cool. My son is a huge Patriot, and all right, let me see what we got here. Yeah, it feels good. All right, let me pull this out. I don't want to crinkle this too much, because I know it's loud. Berta, I got your letter that you wrote to me right here on my desk. Wow. All right, hang on. Let me get it straightened out. Oh my goodness, y'all. I love this. I absolutely love this. How about that? Did that not turn out awesome? Oh, wow. I can't wait to show my husband. He'll be home tonight. I'll be able to show him in person. I send him pictures of the stuff that I make. Julie, show me the other one. Oh, hang on. It's right here. This is a Chalk Couture stencil, and they have their, I think their patriotic stuff is still on sale. This is Oh Beautiful, America the Beautiful song. I did it in red, the blue. This blue is not available, but you can get the cadet ink. And thanks, Tammy. And then gold. The gold that I use is Nominee. But if you're going to get anything from Chalk Couture, let me give you my link to sign up to be a Perks member, and then you can get 30% off of all retail prices. And then you also get a little bit off of sale prices too. So anyway, so I'll probably wear this one Friday. Then I'm going to wear this one Saturday. And I haven't made the third one yet. I've got two more shirts that I can work on. So I'm going to try and maybe come back on about 7 o'clock my time, which is Eastern Daylight Time. So depending upon where y'all are, you'll have to calculate. I know, I love it too. And I'm telling you, all right, write this down. This is Bella, like ding dong, Bella, like a bell. Bella Canvas, BellaCanvas. And this is a large. I got these at Michael's, and they are so soft. I mean, it is really, really that soft cotton. And Michael's had 30% off, so I got 30% off of these. So that made these shirts $7, because I think they were 10, and one of them was only 5. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, so the shirts ended up being 30% off. They probably still have a coupon, so go to Michael's and see if you can get, and if you can't find it, let me know, and I'll send you, I'll go into my my purchases, and you can message me. So this is number 1. I love the way, do you see how I did America in red and in blue? I love that. It just needed a different, and then I've got the dark blue down here. Now, Cadet is the blue ink that, I don't think that Home is available anymore. That's the color that I used here. But what you could do is you could get a jar of the Cadet, add a little bit of maybe chocolate brown to it, but I would test it like in a small sample, because if you add black or brown to a blue that's bright, it'll make it look more towards navy. So you could do that. But I can't wait to wear these, y'all. I am so excited. I am so excited. And I can't wait to see what I'm going to make tonight, because I'm going to come on. I think that I want to do something with this stencil here. It's got 3 sections. It's got a flag and firecrackers, and it says Stars and Stripes. So I think I want to do something with that. And my thought is to do the flag on maybe a red shirt and with white ink, and then white ink here, and then firecrackers. Maybe do this in gold, at a minimum do this part in gold, and probably do like several firecrackers, which it would make more sense to do this for 4th of July, but I want to do One Nation Under God. So I think this is the stencil I'm going to work with tonight. And but anyway, thanks for joining me, y'all. This was fun, and I can't wait to wear these. So, and I will take pictures in DC with me in it. So, all right. Well, I love y'all. Jesus loves you more, and I'm shooting to be on again at 7 o'clock. We'll see how that goes. If you haven't joined my Telegram, join my Telegram so that when I send out a telegram, you know that I'm going live. And anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. I am so excited. I'm like a little kid in a candy store. So y'all have fun, and I'll talk to you tonight at 7 if you come back on, or whenever I see you again. All right. Love y'all. Bye-bye.